the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Charles Thomas.
Paget Maynard.
We've got a lot to cover, but we have to not forget and do something on our great ladies. And I was out in Myers, and the lady said to me, "So I watch the show, but where's the women on it?" So, hey, I raced home, picked up a paper, and got good news here. And this is from Miss Ayanna Neal. She took time out to put in this little short subject here. It says, "A pause for the cause, a salute to all the awesome women in the world and right here in our own community, who daily makes awesome contribution to make lives of others better. Health is a very important topic when looking at any group of people. With March 8 being International Women's Day, it's important not only to recognize the huge contribution and accomplishment by women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, Michelle Obama, the two Rice ladies, Oprah Winfrey, Dorothy Hikes, Neil Houston, and Dr. Mae Jameson. Just a few. This is just a few of the American culture. But it also look at areas that need improvement. The American health system is an area that greatly need improvement. Only 5.7 of American physicians are black, while the American population for blacks is 13 to 15%. Unfortunately, while many black women go to the doctor, they feel unheard and often misdiagnosed. Many of the hospitals in the area where high population of black women are unfounded. They don't have state-of-the-art, up-to-date equipment, and don't have to more than screen testing. In 2016, the Jones found that in studies that black women are less likely than white women to undergo genetic testing, regardless of their risk level, because doctors are less likely to recommend them. Black women are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer. Black women are 10% less likely to have received an HPV vaccine as white women. And black women are 60% more likely to be obese than white women. It is important that women, especially black women, be proactive in their health and medical care. First, if something consistently bothers you, go to the doctor. What is ignored can be addressed. You should at least see your doctor once a year for a yearly woman examination. Second, ask the doctor questions, lots of questions. If there is something you don't know or don't understand, ask. If there's a screening, medicine, procedure, or any other thing that you think may be helpful to you, ask your doctor. Third, if you want a doctor to tell you don't be afraid, get a second or third opinion. There's a lot in there. And this was 2 weeks ago, so we see where we're at with doctors, black doctors, 5.7. And so what do we do?
My question for you, Ahmad. 5.7%.
Okay.
And the doctors are black.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with our people? Like it mentioned, so many the women don't go to the doctor or don't feel comfortable, whatever, not getting properly diagnosed. How they relate one to the other?
It's a thing that I know my sisters, they have black doctor in East Lansing, a black woman doctor in East Lansing. She's from, I think she's from one of the islands. I'm thinking she's from one of the.
Francesca?
Huh?
There's a doctor over there named Francesca.
That might be.
She's
her.
the head doctor over on Michigan State campus.
I think that might be her.
Okay.
But it's a thing like this lady was saying. We, in our black men and black women, but especially our black women, they go to this doctor, and he'll write the wrong prescription or something like that, and they got it and they gone.
Man, the thing is, any doctor, no matter the color, they can give you a wrong prescription. If you look at how sometimes you go to the doctor, before you could properly tell the doctor what your problem is, he's giving you a prescription. Or she's giving you one. So they're not really mending. It seems to me like from what you read so far that I could recall is that we don't have enough black people as doctor.
Right.
Then who is to be blamed for that?
We the people.
Mm-hmm.
We the people had to be blamed for that.
Yeah.
We the people.
Yeah, we the black folks.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we are not encouraging our youth to get into the sciences
Mm-hmm.
and in the medical fields, to encourage them to become what we need to for them to become, to service our community. They'll go to and get a degree, and then they'll go to another community instead of bringing that education back to our community, because we haven't set up anything as a community for our children to come back to the community to service our community.
Now, there was a city, and pardon me for my ignorance, not remembering the name, where it was a complete black community with everything. And that was destroyed somehow.
Yeah.
You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa,
Okay.
Oklahoma, and lots of and a few more places.
Roosevelt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the point is, we had it going. We lost it. Could we regain it?
Well,
Are we going to encourage our people to move towards doing this?
the thing is that I hate to repeat this every time we come have a show, but Frederick Douglass said, from the time, if you're black, from the time you get here till the time you leave, life's a struggle. So
Wait on. Are we saying that life is a struggle only for blacks?
yeah,
I think life is a struggle for those that don't try to lift themselves up. When you depend on somebody else for food, clothing, and shelter, then life is a struggle. But when you are producing things for yourself, then there's ease in that because you have purpose. But people that don't have purpose have pain.
There is a purpose. You live with a purpose in mind.
Right.
You're going to try to fulfill that purpose.
Right. And meet your
And
needs.
by so doing, you're going to find yourselves not having to be totally dependent
Right. And
on
feeling
others.
good about yourself from a psychological and a spiritual perspective.
well, yes, I agree with all that. But what Douglass was saying is that what he meant by that, if you were black, when you from the time you got here until the time you leave, life is a struggle. He meant as a people, because right here in Lansing we have some blacks with quite a bit of money, but
It's scattered.
Yeah, and what good it is to somebody over here struggling to try to make it every day,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he meant. He didn't mean that all of us going to be on our knees, but he said what he was saying is that if you were black, because you can bet if you black out here with some money, there's somebody trying to take it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he meant by that. And again, back to the thing what you were saying about the doctors. We send our kids off and go to college, and they come back, oh, I want to be this and I want to be that. But how many times you hear them say, I want to be a doctor?
Yeah. And it could happen if there's strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If the community had a project that they were working on, and if the youth would see the adults focusing on a commitment to build something or buy a business, put other people to work during that business, and the community was on the same page and doing the same cause and the same purpose, then the young children, you teach by example.
Yeah.
If they don't have an example, then somebody else is going to have an example for them.
Mm-hmm.
So in our community, we don't have anything that we can say that we did that.
No. No.
Because we got to go to Mr. Charlie to get toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or to bury somebody, a family member.
Yeah.
We don't own land to even bury the dead.
Right.
Our dead.
Right.
So when you sitting at home and you going to work for Mr. Charlie, and then you teach your children to prepare themselves to go to work for Mr. Charlie, you're not being a man or responsible as a teacher, because you're not producing anything that your children can follow suit. Like other cultures. I seen immigrants come over here. They'll buy up a cleaners, and then they'll send their children to college.
Yeah.
And then they'll employ people of their own kind.
Oh yeah.
And that's how you build a community.
Yeah.
And we've been here long enough, but we still buying chicken from Chaldean.
Yeah. And that's
And we taught them how to fry chicken.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the things I really struggle with about the doctor thing. It's like we have a kid go to school for everything but doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
Listen.
They've been told that they couldn't, or that they're not qualified, or they don't have the ambition to endure the rigorous book work that goes along with becoming that. But if somebody was in the family that would encourage them, that have already done it, then they can pursue that field and get help. It's not an easy task, but you got to have a support system.
Okay, so then we know this is needed.
Right.
There is a tremendous shortage of black doctors, male and female.
And lawyers.
Lawyers, okay. You don't always need a lawyer. You need a doctor more so than a lawyer.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, what can we do? What are we not doing that we need to do? Part of what I hear you say before is like nobody to encourage them. Why is it our children are not in the sciences? Why is it they're always in the liberal arts? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that we are sending them to college and when they come out with, oh, I'm the first in my family to go to college? Fine, that's great. But why did you go to college? What is your purpose for going to college? What is your vision? What do you want to do? What contribution you're willing to make?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the main thing is just I want my child to be better or have more than what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's more to life than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would pool our resources together and buy a strip mall or buy a high rise and put our people in it and get in the business environment. You know, one thing that I noticed that there's a lot of black professional women, more so than black professional men.
Mm-hmm.
Women on the East Coast they killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Charles,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying we must put our black folks in high rises? Isn't that bringing back the whole ghetto concept?
No. I'm saying we should start buying and owning it, and rent it out like other people are doing it, commercial property, or buy some land that you can build a cemetery in, or a senior citizen project. You know, something that we can work together to say that this is ours.
But how is that going to bring doctors?
The need. The children will see the need for a community life. And the doctors can come back to the community and build on the community instead of chasing the dollar bill. Ain't nothing wrong with the money, chasing the money. But there's a lot of retired people out there that can tutor in these high schools or in a church classroom to inspire children, to teach them, to show them why these fields are needed and the importance of it. Children in our community, we don't know. There's a lot of careers out there, but which one best suits?
Yeah.
I gotta throw out something. All right. Our young parents, they themselves got their kids when they're teenagers. I don't know, ask me percentage of them or not, I don't know. I'm just saying we have a lot of young teenage parents.
Okay.
A lot of it is amongst our own black people.
Yeah.
They themselves were the product of teenage parents. And some of those before them were like teenage parents too.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have the background.
Support.
Their parents didn't have it, their grandparents didn't have it. So nobody to give them a little vision. All they were seeing is hustle your dollar and get home.
Right.
Okay.
Now, so what can we do to change that situation?
Well, go ahead, Chuck.
We have to banish that ignorance. That ignorance is a carryover from the plantation, the sharecropping. Most successful black families, that we live like 2 generations from sharecropping. But somebody made a sacrifice to become a lawyer, to become a doctor, to become an engineer. And so those people that have chosen those careers, when they can stimulate others to do so, they should voluntarily give back to the community, to grow the community, to inspire children not to be afraid of math, but embrace math. Teaching the laws of math.
But isn't it that our young men in particular are more interested in going into sports, basketball, football, because that's where they make the money, that's where they become millionaires? Since the idea is to get money and be rich,
Well,
what's wrong?
well, go ahead, Chuck.
I don't mind them getting rich. I mind them that individualism. That's what's killing us. You know,
Well, hey,
not being selfish.
I'm the one who went out there to take all those heavy knocks in the football field.
Well, but see, that's where we, because that's where we look at things so, and I don't want to say wrong, but I guess it is wrong, because we've been over this before. Since I've been in Lansing 50-some years, okay? There's been five professionals left out of Lansing in 50-some years. So that right there should tell everybody with these young boys that, hey, professional sports, you won't get there,
You may, but not easily.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is that if you're going to school, and we done talked about this, 15 years ago, I remember, 15 or 16 or 17 years ago, it was like you had to have a 2.5 to play basketball. Right now, a kid can be a 1.7 in playing on a basketball team. So now we've got these.
So then, before you go any further, are we blaming the institutions for accepting them into the sport with such low academic qualifications?
Yeah.
Do we need to raise that? Do we need to come with something more to inspire them? Or is it that you're only interested in me because I'm a good athlete and you want to look good? That's the big thing in the university.
Yeah, but to me, on a university level, they pimping them boys, because the university is making millions, and all the players, they get 4-year degree, and then if they make it,
And some of them can't count
right.
the money
Yeah.
that they make.
and if they make it, but what they should teach them boys and young men, that is teamwork. How a team ain't nothing if it ain't working together.
No.
And how to apply that into
Life.
into life.
Yeah.
Because what they missing is that selfishness that our community thrives on. That individualism
Yeah.
is killing us.
Yeah.
It might work for other communities, but for our community, that me, I
Yeah.
is not helping.
No.
And we're not benefiting from it.
No, not at all, not at all. And it's a thing where we look at all the rest of the nationalities of people, but when we look at our people, and I don't watch them, but Charles Barkley and the other two guys, black guys who be on that whatever it is,
Yeah, sports thing.
They talk about, oh yeah, I, but what are they doing? What are they doing for the poor black communities?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying you can do all and all of these different things, but if I had $50 million, couldn't I take 3 of those million and help in a black neighborhood to build something?
Yeah, like LeBron James built that school in the inner city. That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
May I remind you guys that just recently at a graduation, a black man,
Billionaire.
who is a billionaire, offered to cover the student loans for all of the graduates in that 2019 graduation class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made an impact.
Oh yeah.
He is helping them. He's giving them a start.
Mm-hmm.
And now they in turn. You see, the problem is some of us, when we get a start, we reach the top of the ladder, we kick it down so
Yeah,
nobody else
right,
could
yeah,
come up.
yeah.
You ever see a set of crabs in a barrel
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But-
trying to get out?
Right.
And everybody wants to get up top the same
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So what they do? Keep pulling down each other.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody gets out.
Yeah, that goes back to that sharecropping thing. When you come back to get some money, they keep you in debt,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and because you can't get out of that debt, so you turn to doing what you got to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
they're cooking the books
Right. Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
instead of giving you a break, because you're going to become an asset to the community and to the nation, and they tax you that you can't even, pay your rent. You live from paycheck to paycheck,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and then they'll garnish you.
Yeah. The thing is that we and we talk about this all the time on these shows. Our people just got to be more responsible.
Right.
They got to be more responsible. They got to do things to help the communities, not break down the communities.
Mhm.
And every, I go from Lansing to New York, from New York to San Francisco, from San Francisco to Denver, Colorado, and each one of these cities, I can assure you and tell you, and I also go to Mississippi, even this little old place in Mississippi where I'm from, they got the ghettos.
The condition.
Yeah, where they at? Oh, there,
Yeah. As soon as you cross the tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just it's really outrageous. And we a lot of us, we talk about well, we was slave, we was this, but we was
Yeah.
before slavery.
Right.
Hey, we were.
We were it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Before slavery, so slavery was just it's a little teeny
Glitch.
thing, yeah, in our history.
Of us are still enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we don't recognize that we're still enslaved.
Yep.
Therefore, we don't have any need to get out because
Right.
we don't think we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.